finding yin action today. We had the pleasure of having our own space last week with the yin, and now we're growing in the room. Another person. Today we're going to be focusing on the side body and some head action for our class.
Might need to tip the camera down.
Down.
We can only see our heads in the front row.
Hello. So I'm going to be facing you guys, and then just make my way around the room. So again, we're going to be focusing a lot to the side body and the hips. And so for our grounding pose today, we go ahead and come onto the knees. And we can curl our toes so that we're getting a good stretch into the arc of our sole of our foot here. A little stretch into the ankle. And you can start to feel your pelvic tilting. You can actually tilt it down so that our butt sits right onto our ankles here. And then you can roll your shoulders back, deep inhale, tall spine. And exhale, release. And then if your knees start to get sore as you are in the kneel position here, you can place a blanket underneath so that we can have some nice padding. Good. Taking a deep inhale in through the nose and out through the nose. And so then as you focus on this breath here, you can kind of invite a little bit of a ujjayi breath, meaning as we inhale through the nose, we're going to exhale through the throat. So it's almost like we're clearing. So we can keep the core just very slightly activated. We can allow ourselves to go into a deeper mental state. So just continuously inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the throat. I'm just taking a couple more breaths here. Letting the gravity of the shoulders take place. Chest is lifted. And then we're going to bring our arms up to the T. We're going to inhale, rise, bringing our arms towards the ceiling. And then as the palms are together, we're going to exhale. Bring the palms to our center. We're going to bring our palms up to the side again. And as the palms stay up, we want to make sure that our shoulders are rotated back. And we want a lot of our movement to be present from the inner cup, from the upper arm to the lower arm and out through the fingertips. So on the next breath, as we inhale, find a little engagement into the upper arms and move through the chest outward. Inhale, bringing all that energy up, feeling your arms fully expand. And as you exhale, release the hands to feel very energetic into the chest area. Inhale, right. And then exhale, release. A couple more times. Bringing some movement into our shoulders here. And then you can uncurl your toes And either come to a comfortable kneel position or sitting position, any of your choice. And then as soon as you find a comfortable sitting position for yourself, we're going to, with the right hand, rotate the palm towards the back of the room. We're going to take the right hand behind our back and take the left hand to our side, so that with the right hand we're grabbing the front of our upper arm here. Shoulders are rotated back. Very gently press the left fingertips into the ground. On the next breath, we're going to very slowly inhale, guide the left ear to the left shoulder. Line the arm to help keep maintaining the straight spine. Shoulders are away from the ears, other than the left ear towards the left shoulder. You start to feel your chest going towards the ground. Just find an engagement in your stomach and bring the confident chest towards the ceiling.
Reach my arm.
Oh, that's okay. It's just if you can, and if you can't, that's fine too. You just keep the arm behind your back and keep a straight spine. And if you start to feel like a seize or a pinch, it just means that you need to bring the right elbow more towards the right side of the room. So we're not hurting the shoulder here. That's okay though, so we're going to stay here for 3 more breaths. And then on the next breath, with the left hand, gently put it underneath the left cheek, and inhale, guide the left cheek into the center. Very slowly release the right hand. Allow yourself to feel the blood rush here. And then you can go ahead and take the right arm across the chest and then hinge with the left elbow onto the right elbow or upper arm. Just bringing the right arm across the chest. Just for 5 breaths here. After the 5 breaths, we very slowly release the right hand. You can go ahead and very gently create some circles with your shoulders. Bring them up towards your ears and towards the back of the room. Nice, slow, and concentrated. And then you can reverse the rotation, bringing them up and then forward. And then we're going to go ahead and take it to the other side. So we're going to take 3 sun breaths and then take the left hand behind your back. So bring the arms up to the T and again moving the pec outward. Inhale, rise. Arms towards the ceiling. And then as we exhale, guide the hands down. Inhale, rise towards the ceiling. And then exhale. Release. And one more time. Left arm to the T, face the palm towards the back of the room. And then bring the left hand behind your spine. If you can grab onto your right arm, that's cool. If not, that's all right. Good. Kind of guiding the left hand either towards the right shoulder or towards the right arm. And from here, you're going to very gently bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Through each of these exhales, just allowing yourself to surrender a little more to this asana. And if you need to reset your arm, your wing, you can go ahead and reset that for yourself. If you start to feel that you are hunching over, your chest towards the ground, shoulders towards the ceiling, just engage to the lower core and lift up the chest as if a string is being pulled. Almost like a little marionette, a little puppet here. Three more breaths. Let's get the right cheek where it's at. Put with the right hand, place it underneath the cheek, and inhale, slowly guide it into the center. And very gently unwind the left hand, feeling the blood rush go towards your fingertips here. Extending it out to the T, just go ahead and flex your fingers. And then start to guide the left arm across your chest. Grabbing onto the left elbow. Lifting up to the chest, we're just going to stay here for 5 breaths. Next, 5 breaths. Very slowly release the arms. Go ahead and continue with your shoulder rolls here. And then on the next breath, we can take our arms up to the teeth, inhale, rise, arms towards the ceiling. Now we're just going to hit hinge, bringing our hands towards the front of the mat, child's pose. So you can choose to keep your knees together, or you can spread your knees apart. Put your palms towards the ceiling to make it a little more passive. You have your blocks, you have your blankets, so if you need to put a block underneath your forehead to support your spine, you can add that here. If you wanted your blanket to support your knees, you can do that as well. You also have the option, which I love to do, is you can get the bolster out of your 2 blocks. And folks at home, if you have a pillow, you can use the pillow for this. But you can also make a makeshift bolster and kind of place it in between your legs just slightly and allowing your chest to rest on it, giving you that comfort and that grounding as you bring your arms forward. Especially if you have a very tight spine or a limited range of motion at the time for your hips, this is a great way to have that physical incline, that support here. For most of us as children, this is one of the ways that can help us fall asleep, or we have fallen asleep in these positions. So in times where you need assistance falling asleep, or also if you are going through anxiety and having a very bad day or are very elevated in your emotions and you just need to have that space to calm down or cry it out, you can do the same thing with a pillow and just come in this kneel child's pose position and just allow yourself to feel that comfort and just to kind of let everything out. And then as you are going through your breaths here, if you wanted to get a little deeper into your stretch, you can put your palms to the ground and actively place your palms onto the mat and assist your tailbone towards the back of the room. And maybe chin to chest to get a little more in between the shoulder blades. You can go ahead and take 3 more breaths. And after the 3 breaths, if you are using a bolster, you can place the blocks either to the side or to the front of the mat. And so then for our next pose, you're going to take your hands to the ground. You're going to inhale, rise, bring in the knees for the hips up towards the sky. Having your hips directly above the knees and bringing your arms forward, coming in extended puppy pose. You can stretch out through the shoulders. Bring your tailbone actively towards the ceiling, chest towards the ground. If we're feeling especially tight, you can place a block underneath our chest. Or you could place it underneath your crown. You also have the option if you wanted to get a little more into the shoulders here, is that you can take your forearms onto the block. As your tailbone's up towards the sky, you can send your chest towards the ground at the appropriate setting for yourself. Start to take 5 more breaths here. Final breath, inhale through the nose, up the mouth. Very slowly, your arms are on blocks, and go ahead and move them at this time. Start to curl through the toes, bringing your knees up, and very gently walking yourself back into a squatted position here. So as you're here in the Malasana, if you wanted to bring a blanket or a block underneath your sitting area, you can go ahead and do so, or you can allow yourself in your Malasana to be free of any clutter underneath. And so you can find some roundness here in your Malasana. You can bring your palms, you can facing towards the sky, your hands to the ground. So roundness of the spine is okay here, getting a little deeper into the knees, or into the hips, I should say. And then allow yourself to explore here too. So if you wanted to have a little bit of assistance underneath your sitting area, you can add that here. Or if you would like to practice without having physical support underneath, you can do that as well. your feet are nice and strong. Your core is strong here. So we can move into the hips. And then if you are bent forward, maybe you can place your shoulders in between your knees pressing into the shoulders at the same time your shoulders is pressing the knees away. That could be an option. Now, if you feel like you have to stack, you just have your hands pressing into the ground, that's okay too. So as long as you have that feeling of sensation into your hips, and you feel good in the Malasana, we're not going to stay here for too much longer. Good. And so if you feel like you need to spread your knees a little further apart, you can do that too. And if you wanted to find some movement, rocking side to side, with either your palms together or maybe the hands to the ground. If you get a little groovy, you can add that here too. Good. 5 more breaths. As the 5th breath comes, take a deep inhale, bring your hips towards the ceiling, and exhale, come into a forward fold here. So with this forward fold, it's totally okay to have some bent knees here if you need to, or maybe just bend one knee at a time if you need to kind of stretch and reset from the Tadasana. Go ahead and get any wiggles out that you need. And once you feel you got that, you can have a soft bend to your knees. Your hands pressing against the mat. Elbows maybe clasped together here. Maybe even clasping at each elbow with your arms behind your thighs. Maybe hands are on blocks in front of your feet. Just whatever feels good for you into this forward fold. Just kind of decompressing from the low spine. Getting a little more of our hamstring stretched out. As we're forward folding, if you wanted to add your own little twists, maybe grabbing the opposing foot or walking your hands side to side. You have all of these different options to enjoy this forward fold. This is a restorative class, so whatever you feel that your body needs some restoring at this time, you can go ahead and allow that to be present here. And 5 more breaths. then as the fifth breath comes, we take a deep inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, forward fold. You bend with the knees, look up to the ankles, and slowly bring your buttocks to the ankles here. And then you can go ahead and make your way back to the mat. And allow yourself to go the long way on the mat here. So the mat is horizontal instead of vertical. Good. And then you can bring the blocks over to the right side of the body. You can have them nice and long with the blanket on top if needed. Good. So what we're going to do is you're going to place our feet together here. And as our feet are together, we're going to go ahead and bring our legs into wide-legged. I never wear my socks to yoga, but I know my mom today. They look like Shrek right now. Like Shrek feet. Nice. So as we have our legs nice and wide and open here, we can take our arms and come forward here to come into a wide-legged forward fold. It's definitely okay if we have a limited range of motion here. We're just focusing on stretching the inner muscles. The inner thigh muscles, the toes are active, heels to the ground. Kneecaps are lifted towards the hip crease. The quads are engaged. So if you feel like it's going to feel good for your spine, grab onto your toes, bring your chest forward. You do that here. Maybe the hands are just pressing into the floor and you're scrubbing your chest forward like you would in a cobra. The goal isn't how deep can we hip hinge. Our goal is just to kind of allow the hip hinge to take us here, and you'll notice through each exhalation as you inhale and exhale, as we move forward, that you might get into a deeper state. Your right leg forward, fold. Go ahead and take 5 more breaths here. And then the 5 breaths, very slowly. So to guide your spine nice and straight. And I encourage you to keep your wide-legged hold, but if you feel like you just need a little bit of movement into the knees, you go ahead and reset yourself so that you have to stay in one spot. So then as we are in the wide-legged, we have blocks onto our right side of the blanket, and if not, you can guide them there. And maybe bring that makeshift bolster a little close to the hip. We're going to go to a wide-legged side stretch, but we're going to do this more restoratively. So instead of like forcing yourselves into a very awkward fold, or bend, I should say, we can take our right forearm onto the bolster here for some support. And then we can take the left hand, inhale, rise over towards the right foot. But you can also use the right fist on your temples to hold your head up if you want to. So this is definitely an option to make it a little more restorative. Just lift it arm towards the back of the room if you wanted to bring your right arm into your thigh, help twist yourself a little deeper, you can. I'm just going with the more restorative side for today. And your arms start to get tired, you can allow a little bit of a bend into your left elbow. You can, even if you wanted to, tuck your fingers together and have the tucked hands behind your head. So you can still get a little stretch underneath the left armpit and the thoracic posterior without having to tie around your left arm. So these are good little cheat codes if you're like, I want to stretch today, but I don't have the energy to do it. So get a stretch. And if your hands are clasped behind your head, guide the left elbow towards the back. Final breath. And then once you every good breath, you inhale, rise, arms towards the ceiling. Exhale, continue forward fold for just 3 breaths. After the 3 breaths, you can rise from the forward fold. You take the bolster onto the opposite side. If you need to put any organic movement, like maybe some soft twisting side to side, or if you wanted to work through the shoulders before we go to the other side, you can go ahead and do so. So we can definitely rest the left hand onto the bolster if you wanted to. This is definitely an option if you use it. I just think it's comfy right now. And then you can take the right arm and go over towards the left side. You can be a little lazy with this, as long as the chest is kind of forward, so we're not really completely putting getting a lot of pressure into your spine. You have the right arm active, maybe for a good few breaths. You definitely use the left fist if you wanted to kind of use it as a rest for your head. You wanted to clasp the hands together behind your head and get your right elbow towards the back of the room. You can do that as well here. Wherever you're at, go ahead and take 5 more breaths. After the 5 breaths, slowly rise up towards the ceiling. Exhale, to finish forward fold for just 3 breaths. Very slowly bring the feet in, coming into your butterfly pose, and you can slowly assist yourself back to the vertical position of your mat here. You can press your feet together, rotate the shoulders back, lift up through the chest. And then exhale, slowly chin the chest. 5 breaths. And then you can slowly unbend the knees. You can go windshield like side to side here. We are coming towards the near plank, towards the end of class. So for our Shavasana today, option, you can put the top block onto the side like a T, and then this one long like a T. Sorry, I should say that we're making a T shape here. So send it out and hit sweep. And so essentially the top part is going to be for our head, the bottom part is going to be for our thoracic spine, the part between the shoulders. And so you can take the blanket and kind of place it the long way here so that you do get that support. A little added comfort. And so for those who are joining in on our online class, the lights are off so that we can make it a little more calming here. So allow yourself to get comfortable for your own Shavasana. So there's definitely going to be some adjustments of space needed. The middle block and the top block. So go ahead and make those adjustments. The top block, it might feel better for some of us if we place it onto its side so we get a little elevation for our head here. So whatever feels the best for you. And so as soon as you find that sweet spot for yourself, you can go ahead and either, your choice, keeping your knees bent, bringing your feet back into butterfly, or straightening your legs to the front of the mat. You can take a deep inhale, bringing your arms up overhead, towards the back of the room. 5 breaths. And then with your final breath, take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale to the mouth. You place your hand wherever is comfortable at this time. Enjoy the next few moments here, Shavasana. So then as we are lying in our Shavasana, pick a quote that resonated with today's practice, and that quote is by Henry Ford, that failure is only the opportunity to begin again, and this time more intelligently. So as you begin to reawaken from our Shavasana, you can start to bring some of that energy from your fingers, your toes, your ankles, and your wrists. Very gently bringing movement back to the practice. On the next breath, you can take your arm up overhead. You can take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Very gently recline through the knees and guide your body off of your butt into a comfortable seated position. And then taking one final sun breath together, bringing your arms up to the T and inhale, rise, arms up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, meeting your palms into the heart center. As you take a bow for yourself, giving yourself gratitude for making it to today's class. Share this space with all of our other climbing neighbors, physically and virtually. And to each of you, I thank you for coming to class and wish you all a peaceful night. Namaste.
Namaste.
How are we all feeling?